Welcome to On Pointe. The Grosse Pointe Public School System is working diligently to answer our community's frequently asked questions in a number of different ways. We have our FAQ that's posted on our website, gpschools.org, but today we're continuing a series where we answer one question at a time with our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gary Niehaus. Today's question is, why are we talking about school closures in the Grosse Pointe Public School System? How did we get here?
Well, I think we got here. This is our last day of school. It is our honor to have got our graduates across. We graduated 704 students from our two high schools. It's a great day to let our students off for the summer, but we also are looking forward to bringing in 450 kindergartners next fall.
So that's a big delta between the incoming kindergarten class and the class sizes that we're graduating.
That delta of 250 is the reason why we're considering this declining enrollment. And the declining enrollment then impacts where we are with our fund balance. We basically are losing 100 students a year over the last 15 years. Okay. And those 100 students a year at our current rate of $10,000 per student foundation level means that we lose approximately $1 million a year in funding from the state of Michigan.
So are we losing them to private and parochial, or why is it that there are 100 fewer students each year?
Our private parochial population hasn't changed percentage-wise. What we've seen from them is what we see with us, and the fact that they're experiencing declining enrollments as well. The state of Michigan has got declining enrollments all the way across. Southeastern Michigan, Wayne County, we're all in declining enrollment mode.
So what have we done before we got to the point of school closures? Has the Board of Education taken steps before now that are less drastic than closing the schools that we love?
Well, one of the things we did back in 2016, when we were really at kind of our low point in our fund balance of at 6.8, we did about $3 million worth of cuts. We took out a lot of things that we didn't want to. And we realized very quickly that we didn't have a lot of things left that weren't going to impact our programs. And so one of the things that we talked about at the time was selling 389, which is our administrative offices, or selling off Barnes as another option. And so we've taken those options and we've actually evolved the RFP for 389. We're currently in that process now. Our board next week will look at Barnes as an RFP. But declining enrollment is something that we have room right now for over 12,000 students in our district, where our current enrollment right now is about 7,600. And a lot of people will say to me, well, where do you think we're going from here? And I think where we're going from here is we're going to hit a bottom of about 7,200 students. And when we hit the 7,200 students and we kind of flatline with our kindergarten and our elementary enrollments of 450. So we'll be 450 kind of or up to 500 across our school district. The other point I would like to make is the factor that we have an unusual population in Grosse Pointe because we pretty much grow our population, our kids, as they go through our school system. Mm-hmm. In other words, we add kids in first grade, we'll add kids in sixth grade, we'll add kids in obviously ninth grade. And so it's not as if it's a one-time thing, it's something that happens for us on a year-to-year basis. And we really gain students over that time frame.
So if we close schools at this point and enrollment rebounds, will there be enough room to accommodate those students?
Well, I think the one thing we do know is that we have 1,200 seats, excess capacity within the 7 schools we would have remaining.
Okay.
So we do know we have excess capacity. We do know that we have spread that across the district. We do know that we're trying our best to figure out what's going to be the best configurations. So I believe that we'll have room.
What I'm hearing from you as the superintendent of schools is the board needs to decide, are they going to focus the funding that we have from Lansing, and we can argue all day long whether that's sufficient or not, but they have to decide, are they going to focus that on buildings that aren't at full capacity, that are about half full, or on the programs and people that make this the Grosse Pointe Public School System?
Well, I think our board is looking hard at making sure the programming stays where it is. Everybody that I talk to and everybody I know wants the quality of schools to stay the same. And if not the same, certainly better than it is currently. You know, we're a district that ranks in the top 5 districts in the state of Michigan. We've got 2 world-class high schools. We have a great foundation. So what we're trying to do is make it better.
Thank you for joining us today for this answer to today's frequently asked question. Again, this will be a series designed to answer the questions that our community is bringing forward. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to submit them to schoolboard@gpschools.org.